my God. What's going on, friends? Oof, we made it. How's everybody been? It's been a minute for me. It's been a couple weeks, I think. So, yeah. I took off some time that I needed. Let me get my papers together. You know, what we call our papers. But I hope everybody's doing good. It's Monday. I took a couple weeks off. We're back. I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling re-energized. Back from Podfest. I got an amazing guest tonight. Good friend now, I can honestly say. But we're going to invite him out here in a little bit. I want to say, hola, welcome everyone. Welcome to my Mayhem Streamcast. We're here to have conversations to break stigmas, create awareness, and encourage acceptance, and create opportunities. We share stories about mental health, disability, and trauma. And we're back for another week. I hope everyone's starting their week refreshed after the weekend. It's still the weekend for some, right? It's Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day to everyone. Thanking our lost veterans, our lost loved ones that served in action, active duty, reserves, and any military branch. So we're here to honor those. Visual descriptor, I'm Latina female brunette with silver streaks, light olive skin, brown eyes, and I'm wearing red lipstick, and I am wearing an awesome t-shirt. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a little bit. I got my neon lips, the geometric fox, and my positive affirmations in the background. So welcome everyone. Welcome my friends. Hola, I've missed you everyone so much. I've got so many things going on. I cannot wait to share. It's going to be a pretty easy, calm stream. We're just going to chit chat with, again, somebody that I like to consider my friend now. And we're going to get right to it. We got some people in the chat. Let me look around. Okay, I'm just looking. All right, so far so good. What's up, Mackenzie? Thank you for being the best mod ever. Checking out on Twitch. Thank you. Awesome. All right, cool. I think we fired off. We made it past like one of the hardest steps is going live, like getting to the seat and getting it going. The mic's working, the camera's going, the lights on. I'm feeling pretty good. Energy's hopefully high. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. But I want to thank Restream for powering this live. And if you're new, please subscribe, support my work. Thank you, LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Anybody else watching out there, appreciate you. And if you need any assistance or you want me to come out and talk, let me know, reach out. We love to talk here. I love to talk. And I have someone that I know loves to talk. And can't wait to hear all about him. We are going to salute and sit with Enrique Acosta Gonzalez. I can't say it any other way. Military veteran and advocate, board member, nonprofit administrator. I mean, he's already speaking my language. Speaker and coach. He's held numerous executive advisory and senior leadership positions while serving in the United States Navy and civilian sector. So thank you to him. Thank you for his service. He's worked through education and training, strengthening chains of command, providing sound decision support, and creating open communications at all levels. He's helped formulate and implement policies concerning morale, welfare, job satisfaction, discipline, and training of Navy and civilian personnel. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. He is a true leader, right? So he's with Triad Leadership Solutions, and I can't wait to bring him out. Let's go ahead and welcome Enrique. Where are you at, my friend?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? Oh, look at that. This was my Podfest setup. I had set up this like blue here. Look at this. I had this nice little layup I had made. Woo! You like that?
Outstanding. Yeah, perfect for the week
Yeah.
that we just had.
Yeah. So I was trying to get it together, but this was before I left. But welcome, amigo.
Hola a todos. Thank you for having me, DJ. It's good to
Yeah.
finally be with you. I love your show. I love what everybody is doing in the live streaming community. We have a great community on LinkedIn, and obviously you're looking at the chat section there in various
Aw.
places. So yeah, good. Thank you
Yeah.
everybody for joining us.
What's up, Jenny? Thank you. Welcome, Enrique. I mean, who doesn't know Enrique? And if you don't know Enrique, you're missing out. He is out there. He's working hard. I mean, you do all sorts of things. So you heard a little bit about my introduction. That was my introduction, but introduce yourself in case I missed any important details.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you covered it all, but I would sum it all to say that I was a servant of our U.S. forces, and now I'm a servant to our civilian complement out here. I do leadership development. Triad Leadership Solutions is my company. And a funny thing, we were spending the last handful of days at Podfest. I was speaking specifically about LinkedIn live streaming, but that was a good time. So just excited about the conversation and what we will unravel tonight.
And you were on a big stage. I was in a small conference room, which is fine. First
Look,
timer, but you got the stage, you had the
no,
lights, you had the podium. So, how'd
I
that feel?
look.
It felt good.
It look it. I will tell you this, right? So at Podfest, you have different stages. Just because, and I see Gabe's on, just because you're in a cubby, it's funny, they call it a cubby. Then you have your smaller, bigger rooms and yada, yada, yada. I will tell you that I was not on the main stage, but my room was appropriate to me. So we'll leave it
Oh,
at that.
well done. Well done. Well, congratulations. It was an honor to share part of Podfest, be a speaker with included as with amazing, wonderful personalities as
Yep.
yourself and so many others. Now, I posted a little video with photos. I didn't load it up into my restream. I'm not going to worry about it, but anyone can check it out on my social medias. There's Enrique's on there. I took one of his pictures. He was almost in all my other pictures. We just had so much fun.
That was a great
Um,
video, by the way.
Thank
Loved it.
you.
Yep.
Simple,
Yeah.
easy, straight to the point. Just really wanted to. And there's still pictures I got to gather from other creators I met. Other photos that I didn't take, but I got this long arm, so I was able to like stick it out and take the photo for them. Penny, hint, hint, that was your photo. I'm gonna, shout out to Penny. But like just all these amazing people I didn't anticipate in meeting, and then I meet
Right.
them. But like you, I anticipated, right? I was waiting for you. I was waiting for Junaid. But then when you meet these new creators, that's just a whole nother level.
It is. It is. And that our community at Podfest, that Chris and Andrew and Wendy and Larry has built, um, it's just amazing the support and the
Yes.
love. There's a lot of love going through those
A
rooms
lot of
and
love.
support because we as creators have to do that. We have to support and love each other's work and encourage. And so I'm so happy that you were there. So happy that you were speaking because sometimes your first go at Podfest, you're actually just seeing what it is.
An
Your first go
attendee.
was to speak. So wow,
I was
congratulations.
honored. Chris really extended that offer to me. And then
Yeah.
when I met with Wendy, and then you just start meeting the whole pod fam,
Yep.
people that have been going there for years that really have a history, and it really has this familiarity and this community built in that's so extended. And you just know, like seeing you next year, right? Kind of like
Yep.
really is
A
what they
family
mean it.
reunion.
They mean it. Yeah. So I was like, wow, you could feel that energy and
Yeah.
that. So, and everyone wants to watch everyone else succeed. Everyone wants to give as much as they can. And I've been hearing that on so many different streams. Have you been hearing that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been checking some other fellow streamers out there, what they've been doing, some fellow podcasters that I've met. I've been able to already send out those connection requests if I didn't know them before and just say, hey, it was great, even if it was a brief moment, just to, look forward to knowing that next year you have the opportunity and this year you can just kind of develop and grow and watch each other and support their content.
Yep. Yeah, it was great to meet so many new people. Even this year's a whole lot of new people, but re-meeting a lot of old people too. Because we were speaking with Neil and William, the people behind the DJ and the people behind the camera, and they've been there since the very first meeting. So they've been there for 8 years with Chris. But it was nice to see them on this side of the fence because they were always behind the scenes. So Neil and Will, it was good to meet them.
Good. So sounds to me like you had a blast. The photos
Oh
say
yeah.
it all, right? Pictures worth 1,000 words. So I really tried to just get as much information as I could and really show my personality and get to just create those true bonds, right? Like
Yep.
to me that was important. That was for me one of those things like socialize. Yeah, I went to socialize.
Well, I know,
To
and
network.
we were digital acquaintances for the better part of 2 years now, right? Until we actually
Yeah.
got to meet at Podfest, so that was great. And the funny thing is, once you see each other, it's like
Yes.
that had not ever happened. It seems like it was always like that.
Right, right,
Um,
right, right,
we
right.
meet so many other military creator folks, like triple nickel folk people and Marty, Smurf and all those great veteran creators and entrepreneurs, right? It was crazy, but it
It
was
was
good.
fantastic. Thank you for introducing me, and just I got to know them and they were absolutely just blown away. Just really, really great creators. Like I can't say nothing bad. There ain't nothing bad to say. So we can just keep it moving. Let's talk about. Do you have any merch nearby? You got any goodies nearby? Did you? What you got?
Yeah, no, well, my merch all resides on my site, but you're
Oh,
talking about uh
like our
Podfest. Oh,
bag,
what? Look,
like our Podfest merch, like
how
our
about this?
baggies.
Hello,
Oh,
did you get a
nice.
mic? You didn't get a mic?
You get a mic.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
That's
this
so
is
cool.
one of the stops along the way that we was trying to get the ticket punch for. They had
Yeah.
this. My sons try to get this from me right off the bat, and I said, "No, son, I got that." I
Is
went,
that real? Like a real
yeah,
mic?
no, it's not
Oh.
a real mic. It's look,
Oh, okay.
it's a
But it's so
foam.
cool. That's
Yeah,
nice.
I
That's
put it right
cool.
here. Last year they
Like a
had the
stress
key.
ball, those stress things that you
Right,
squeeze.
right.
Oh yeah.
The last time they had the silver keychain mics. Those were nice, but this is better. I like this one.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I got my lanyard. I got, some flair. I was
I
working trying to get the flair. That was fun.
Yes,
Working
I
all the
remember.
merch.
Yeah, I
I mean,
remember you
all
saying
the
it.
vendors.
But I got a set of pod deck cards. Did you get?
I
Okay.
did. Mine are different. Mine are
Yeah.
different. Yeah. Like,
Oh, yours is different. Look,
oh,
look at that. Cool. So, I mean,
yeah.
those are little fancy things. But
Who
I
doesn't
don't
love
know.
that?
I don't know if you got this. Now, this is frontline leaders.
That's special. No, I don't
Oh,
like that.
this right here contains 52 military entrepreneurs, their company, their cards. And you know what's nice about this? That's 52 guests.
Wow.
Ah, that's
Ah, that's
so
nice. All right, I got my cards. You can
they
we can ask.
uh,
These are like podcasting question
they
cards, but
are.
they're
I love them.
what the? It's like the MTV
So you got the
WTF.
oh yeah, no, mine's were
I got the
standard.
FWTF one, and I got a
Yeah, no,
different
I
deck.
got this. Yeah, you got two
The interview
fancy
deck.
covered. Oh, you got two fancy covered ones. No, I
Well,
got you know, regular
but
regular
listen,
mainstream cards.
you can't go to a conference and not like try to get good swag.
Yeah, no, and the stickers. My laptop has all those stickers on it. E-
Already, you got them.
Every
I got a
every
few.
yeah,
Listen,
no, it covers the top. I have all those stickers on there, and
already.
I'm the sticker
Wow.
guy. You go for
Okay,
the
I
pin
got
and
I got these
and
little ones.
that
Yeah.
was funny. Yeah, that was funny.
Question, there's a podcast for that, right?
Oh
Everyone.
yeah,
And then so much content, so little time. Like cool little I'm gonna put these on my laptop, on my computers, on the
mine's
back of like my drives, whatever.
mine's actually says haters will say, "Oh, that's only a podcast." That's
I
mine.
didn't see that one. I
That's the
didn't see
one I
that one.
got on my laptop.
Yeah. I mean, so many great vendors. I was just ecstatic, just going through, talking to everyone. Books. What? Let's talk about books. Books at Podfest.
Oh yeah.
Like, who does it? You need to write a book, folks. Everyone,
Look,
got to get published. Look, I got
and, and,
books.
and we got two books on getting published. If we don't get published, shame on us.
Right.
Right?
Goals. Hashtag goals.
Yes, yes. Hey, and anybody out there listening, you got a book in you. I know you do. At least a chapter. So let's just all get together and write a chapter and put that book out. How about that?
That's great. I love this. This is really
Yes.
exciting me. I didn't really realize like how important, how much value there is, how much value you can share. It was some for me, I wasn't there yet, right? It's not something I had thought about quite yet, but
Right, right.
doesn't mean that you don't think about it in the sense of if it happens and it might be something for the future, but at least like just having the idea and the thought that in the podcasting world, in those types of conferences, they really want to encourage and for you to use all these mediums to get
Oh
your
yeah.
content out.
Well,
And
look, you getting somebody want to publish you on the show. But
that's so
but
funny. Thank
but
you, thank
to
you.
but to
Yeah,
Jenny's point, right? So we go
yeah.
to Podfest. We have our guests. For instance, my show
Oh,
booked
this.
every year in October. Every year in October, I book out the next year of guests. That means 52 guests already booked in October the year before. So, but this is a great way, and
No
obviously,
excuse to get stuck.
if you have to start pulling out of the cards, yeah? Hey, put the name out of the card. No joke. Pull the name out of the cards,
Oh, I got
and
one. I'll read you this one. This one's a good one.
yeah, go ahead, go
It's
ahead.
it's nothing offensive or too personal. There were some personal ones. I got caught on the live, and I was like,
All
that's a shout out to Chris. Okay, do
right.
you have a favorite coffee mug?
Oh yeah.
And if so, what's on it or what makes it your favorite? I know you
Um.
can't read it, but
Yeah. My favorite coffee cup is my senior enlisted coffee mug at my last command,
oh,
because
okay.
on it I have my warfare qualifications, my rank, my name. It's got the company, the command logo on it. It
Yeah.
has a gold rim. It's like royalty. And when
Wow.
you're a senior enlisted at a command, you are basically the top enlisted person, and so it is
My
my
salutes to
favorite one.
you.
Oh no, it's my favorite one because it was my last command. So
What a great question, right? Look at that.
yeah,
Check
yeah.
that out.
See
Check
see
that
how much
out.
info you get.
That was right on point. That was right on point with today's like live. We were talking about your veteran, your service, and I wanted to know a little bit more about you. So please share with me about the Navy and the time you served, and I don't know,
Yes.
just share some stories, some war stories.
You
Some
know what's funny is that this morning I was, the worst place to be is alone in the bathroom. Because if you're like a creator, your head is always going. That's when you get stuck with some crazy ideas. So this morning I was there and handling my routine, and I thought to myself, "Hey Enrique, number one, you're a Cold War veteran. How old is that?" Right?
wow.
I came in at the very last couple of years of the Cold War, and I actually got a certificate for serving during the Cold War. And then I'd say, man, I'm only 50 years old. How do you go from the Cold War to the first Iraqi war to the second war?
Wow.
You span three different wars. I had a couple of devices on my the global war, not global war on terror, but my armed forces defense. And That's crazy to think that I served in the Cold War, or at least during the Cold War. Yeah, Reagan days. Yes,
That
yes, it
sounds
was.
wild to say. Just hearing it sounds a little bit because you don't hear that, right? You hear of Afghanistan and you hear
Right,
Iraq.
OEF, OIF, which I was
Yeah,
also a part of, but
right.
you don't hear, but there was anybody that came in 1989, 1990. They still were under that umbrella of Cold War because they hadn't officially, ended.
Mm, 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 mm. And you did a lot. So part of your
Uh,
intro was what you were working on with policies and morale and leadership.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, and
Yeah,
that's led to your business, or
yeah. So it's funny. My my main job in the military was meteorology and oceanography.
okay,
So
meteorology.
I was a meteorologist and oceanographer. Did hydrography as well. But in the military, there comes a time where your main trade, your main work, becomes secondary because as you scale up the ranks, you start to begin to be more a leader than a technician. And so, I went through. I retired as an E8, a senior chief in the Navy. But at the rank of E7, I started to lead command. So once I became a senior chief, for the rest of the time I was in the military, I was the senior enlisted person at command. Now, I served under four major commands, one of them over 1,000 sailors and civilians. So I had my work cut out for me, but that's where leadership actually started to take more a hold of my life than the technical piece. Now, obviously, you have to maintain that technical proficiency. So you're always the master at the trade, but now you're more of a leader than anything else. So that led to, retirement after 26 years. And I retired and I said, you know what? Let me try my hand at this civilian thing, and that's how so the civilian thing, right? Because after 26 years, everything
Wow.
else is a thing. But I was fortunate. I was hired at a company, and both the CEO and the COO were prior Army, Chinook, and Apache helicopter pilots. So when they got a
Ooh.
hold of my resume, they saw my military background, and this is what they said. They said, Uh, she said we had Cold War alarms in elementary school. Too funny. Yeah, well, yeah,
Now
that's
look
right.
how far we've come.
Look
Now
how
you have
far.
to go
Yeah.
under your desk and because it's
Yeah,
something,
for
mm,
something else, right?
something else. Yeah.
Happening in our backyard. Uh, so So in any case, I get into this senior enlisted stuff. I go for my first job, and which hey happened through LinkedIn. By the way, if you guys don't think that you can
Really?
get a job through LinkedIn, I'm a witness. You can. So uh, so they say, we don't have a particular the job you apply for. We chose somebody else, but we need you, and we don't have a
Nice.
job. We don't even have a title for you. All we know is that we want what you did in the military here. And so I said,
So they
hey,
created a position for you. Sounds
no,
like
no, no, no,
no.
no. Look, when somebody comes to you with a blank check, you better not give them the pen. You better not give them the pen because they'll get. I took that pen and I said, okay, in 24 hours, I'll give you a job description, a title, and you can tell me what the salary is. And sure enough,
Oh,
I
so
that night
you wrote
I
out the
I
job
wrote
description.
I wrote
You
out
created it.
I wrote out everything. I titled it, and they offered, and I said yes. Now check this out. For those people out there looking for jobs and thinking, "Oh man, there's nothing." Listen to my story because favor is a thing. Favor is a thing. I'm telling you. And so anyhow, they looked at it, they loved it, and I did it for 2 years. And so,
Wow.
but I was wise enough to ensure that what I wanted as a business model for myself, my own company, was incorporated within that job description. So everything I said I wanted to do for myself, I put it in there, and I used the 2 years as a test bed for my model, and it worked. And so now I'm doing it for myself as the CEO of my own company. And so Yeah, for those of looking for jobs and you're in a situation where they may not know how to fit you in, but they want you better be ready to write.
Oh my goodness, I love it. That is solid. That's great advice. Like, you got to take ownership. You got to take responsibility, and right, like you can't give that power to nobody else.
Oh
So
yeah.
you really have to grab that opportunity. Wow,
Hey,
I love it.
Alex from Ohio,
I
what's
know.
up?
We love love her. We love Alex. What's up, girl? ¿Cómo está? Yes, girl. You're gonna come to Podfest next year, right? You're gonna
Oh
like
yeah.
meet up. You're gonna be part of it, part of the familia. So, I mean, it's just incredible. So, well, thanks for stopping by, Chica. Ah, what was I gonna? Okay, so what was the position that you gave yourself?
So
Like,
I gave myself the position of executive advisor.
ooh, sounds nice.
And that was the beauty of it, was that I was tied to the hip to the CEO
Mm-hmm.
as his, basically his equivalent of a senior enlisted. And but that title also allowed me to go all the way down to the bottom to the new hire and all the way up to the CEO. And I could mentor and coach anybody in the company. And so that took a lot of the burden off of managers
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that couldn't do it, right? They just
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do it.
Right. No,
So I was,
that's listen, you're teaching people, right? You're educating somebody on a process, on a culture. So I can only imagine. And Alex, her being in her profession, she understands. So she said yes, she's coming to Podfest. Mackenzie also said I better get to Podfest next year. I love it. I love it. Yes, lots of more people need to come. We're gonna keep talking about Podfest all year long. It's just too good, too good.
yep, yep,
Executive advisor, right? Yeah, great title. I love it. So you're and that you like you said, you took those skills to your own business and now
yep.
you help corporate. You work with corporate and nonprofits.
I well, the nonprofit work was me volunteering. So
Okay,
that's
yeah,
one piece. But
board work and stuff
yeah,
like that. Just
with with
providing.
uh with Triad Leadership Solutions, we cater to the one stop, one kill. We say one shot, one kill. This
Mhm.
person that just wants an hour of advice, maybe they're struggling as a leader. They can go to the website. They can book half-hour call and 1 hour call right there. And so there's
How
an
do you know if you're a
opportunity.
leader?
Well, they wouldn't come to me if they wouldn't.
Mm.
Yeah, they wouldn't come to me. So because I give leadership advice. Now I
Mhm.
could give you life advice, right? After 50 years, I probably can. But I focus on leadership development. So most people that come to me are either on the verge of getting to be promoted to be a leader, or are currently in leadership position, but you know how I like to say, are successful.
Successful.
Successful
Right, with a K, like
with a
suck, like it
K.
sucks. Yes, I caught
Yeah,
that. That's pretty good.
yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
good.
So yeah, there's
Okay.
and then I also come and I can teach a course, I can do masterminds, I could do all that, as well as go to site and train leaders and speak to the board and all of that.
Right. Right on. Awesome. I love that work. I guess my question was what I meant was, and to clarify, is like
Hmm.
sometimes leaders don't know they're leaders.
Yeah.
And then there's people that think they're leaders that they're not.
Mm, mm. Well,
So I was talking more to the people that don't know that they're leaders, but there's something in them. So that's what I guess what I was hinting at is like, how can you inspire leadership? Maybe that's a better question. How do you inspire leadership in people?
well, the- I don't believe that you can. This is my assessment. I don't think that you can inspire leadership in people. Leadership resides
Okay.
in people already. What you could
Okay.
do is you can unearth and help grow the seed of leadership in people. People know whether they're a leader or not, right? If you walk into a room and you get captive audience, you might have attributes of leaders. Now, are you executing that? Are you actually doing the work of a leader? That's the difference. So
Yeah,
leadership,
absolutely.
the potential of leadership resides in everyone. Um, do you nurture it where it becomes action?
What about our young people and the youth?
Yeah, look, I got a 10-year old running around my house that's a leader. I'm telling you right now, he'll
So they can
walk
be
in.
little leaders. They are
Oh,
little leaders running around right now.
I
You need to
know.
nurture that leadership.
I immediately recognized it. He does not, como say it, no tapa el cielo con las manos. Nah, he doesn't do that. And when he goes to tell you, boom, 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 and he knows what he wants and he knows what he does, and he'll tell you, I'm sorry,
Hmm.
but I can't do that.
It's important to nurture leadership as a parent, right? And I don't think that's something that's
Yeah.
talked enough about. Like, let me just say, I don't think I've ever heard topics about nurturing leadership in our children,
Yep.
in our communities, in our own families, right? Like my cousin, right? Like, hey, like you can spot it. Like, hey, your
Yep.
little one, that one's, there's gonna be big things for them. Like they've got some some really good like characteristics of leadership, right? Like they have a way. So it's just interesting. It's just thinking about it when we were talking, and
Yeah.
I
No.
think
And
of
and
my
it's true.
son. I mean, he's small, he's 6, and I'm like, you know, is he in that path of leadership, like trying to understand his personality at 6 or 7, right? So
Hmm.
that's when they're still coming to their own, I guess, before they get preteens, like the double digits where you're at now. um but I was just curious, because I think
Yeah.
that's important to address while we're just speaking on leadership, and even
It's
with our young
so
people.
so
and
so important. And
and we're influencers. I know people hate that word, but when you're in front of the camera and you're out here talking, you're talking about leadership or you're talking about advocacy. There's a component there, right? We are leaders. We are influencing our opinions, our conversations on others, and we have to be responsible for that. So that also means like young ears or young viewers or young audience that may come across it. And I, for me, want the best society, right? Like that's what it's about, right? For me,
yep.
opportunity for others and encouraging access to opportunity and information so people can get ahead. But for your topic and leadership, it is important, I think, to start young and make sure that we're paying attention to not only the mental health issues, right, and that
Right.
kind of
Right.
stuff that I talk about, but if you have a strong individual that has these leadership characteristics, you want to also nurture that too, right? So it's just
Yeah.
really
I would. I.
interesting.
We chose early on to not place our children in the school system. Right. The reason why we chose is because we're of the belief that the school system stifles and dampens the fire in youth. Uh, but that's
Wow.
that's how we feel, and so we chose to help them grow here. Leadership for everyone starts in their house.
Absolutely.
So if I am not a leader here, when I go fake it out there, and my family gets wind of it, they'll be quick to tell somebody that's not the same dude that lives in my house. And what you're going to do then, right? Because that's a very embarrassing moment when, and this is one thing I tell my family. I say, this is what I do not want at my funeral. I don't want someone to come up here in some podium and start talking about me, about the great things I did out there, and you guys be surprised. I want you to shake your head and say, yes, that's true, because he did it in this house. Girl, don't get me to start preaching.
Oh, I love it. You fire. You got fire right now. I love it.
but
I
but
love it.
but to your point, right? We have leaders residing in our home, and we're not nurturing it. We're not. We are a stumbling block to our kids sometimes because of our own limited capabilities and our own limiting beliefs. We pass that on to our kids, and then we wonder why we're running under tables from an 18-year-old, right? And that's real.
Mm.
That's life. That's happening, right? That just happened. And so
That's-
when we create a an environment that our children can become the best citizens that we can actually produce. And hey, when you can't do it, get somebody like me to come and I'll help you. But that's my aim. My aim is to leave. I'm not leaving riches. I'm not leaving glory or none of that. I'm leaving these young kids that I have and young adults that I have to be the best citizens that I could leave because that is my legacy. Whatever I leave from my family, that's what you get. That's what the world gets. Money will come and go, but my family, they're gonna be here for a while.
Yes, yes. Wow. Well, you definitely built a solid career and background and like family. I do want to talk about your family a little bit because this is
Yes,
part
yes.
of life and this is part of your story. And so this is part of the mayhem that you've been through. And I
Mhm.
think now we can't say the P word either. So now I have to stop censoring myself. But I know it's been hard the last 2 years, personally in your own family. So not only from the business and
Mhm.
everything you've been, all the hits we take, right, as a
Yeah, yeah,
business, but personal in life. So let's talk about your life a little bit. And
yeah.
thank you again for everyone hanging out with us. Like
Yes, thank you,
Alex,
thank you.
thank you. Mackenzie, thank you. Jenny, whoever popping through, say hi. If you're just like stalking or lurking, come on, just drop a little something, something. We love to have your comments and questions. Like we'll pull them up. So we're here. If you have any leadership questions, you have any life questions, you have any military questions, we're here to conversate and talk about Podfest, fun things
Oh
too.
yeah.
It doesn't always have to be like the hard, heavy things. I don't. That's one thing about me, Enrique. Is like sometimes like you gotta cut it up, right? Like it's gotta be like digestible. So
Yep, yep, yep.
but like share a little bit about you and your family and what you've been through and some of that mayhem and how you're doing now.
Yeah. So Mayhem started April 1st last year, right?
Hmm.
April 1st. My mom passed because of COVID. It was about a 3 week from basically from contamination to death was about 3 weeks. We saw her decline very quickly, so it was it's one of those things that you never expect. Obviously, none of us, and we all of the kids live here in Florida, outside except my sister. So we was able to go to the hospital, but at that time it was glass only. You couldn't go. They were in the middle of the room, and you had to wave, and all that stuff. But that was a hard time. That was a for folks that have lost loved ones. When you lose mom, oh my lord, and in a Hispanic house,
Mm,
holy moly, that's the queen, right? That's and we love dads, not anything about dads, right? It's just that it depends on the relationship. But in my house, mom was the queen, right? And
yeah. I'm so
I
sorry about
have my queen at my house, but the patriarch, right? The one that raised us, and we know all the things she went through to raise a 5 children household all by herself, right? It's just
that. Hmm.
we know the struggles. So anyway, it really messed me up. I mean, I couldn't even hold a job if I had
Wow.
to, because of the I just did not realize how that was going to hit me.
The
Um,
grief.
I
The
yeah, I
grief.
I thought I thought I was gonna be like, yeah, man, it's sad, uh, but no, it was totally different.
Wow.
I went far right. I mean, I couldn't even think from one day to another straight. So anyway, we get through that period, and it's only been a year, so it hasn't been that
No,
long ago.
no. This
Um,
is important though because
s-
this is part of what so many people are going through. So even though we're out here and we're doing and we're smiling and we're having fun at
mhm.
Podfest, terrible things are going on. Yes, Jenny. And they still continue to occur. So it's not to make like not it's not to just have fun all the time. But it really
Yeah,
is
yeah.
to honor these, our family members in these situations at the same time. So Jenny, I'm so sorry you just lost your mom as well.
Yes, yeah.
It's been hard for Jenny too. So I mean, it continues, and the grieving
Right.
is real. Like those moments, those waves. There are, from what I've heard, there are no grief stages. It doesn't happen in stages. So, but
Yeah, it,
to me, that's got. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you go. I just
no.
wanted to know, like, how that affects your business, how you work with individuals. How do you incorporate that understanding now into leadership about what people may really, truly, personally have going on, even though they may never share it, or they may think like you that, oh, that's not going to affect me. Something like that's not going to affect me. I'm hard, right? Like I got
Mhm.
this, but you just never know.
Yeah,
So,
and so as far as business is concerned, the good thing is that I have always been an empathetic leader,
mm,
because of just my nature, right? So at the age of 26, I was the youngest pastor in my church organization. So I pastored for 3 years, early, young. I mean, I was probably the youngest person in my church. Um, so I've always had a servant's heart. I've always had a empathetic heart, um, and so thankfully in leadership, I also brought that and incorporated that into it. So it wasn't that I was missing any of that. So that didn't really change.
right, right,
What changed in my conversations with people is through and specifically to corporate CEOs, executives, for them to understand, and current leadership to understand that the people they were getting back in the office were not the same people.
there we go. Okay,
Yeah.
clip that,
Yeah.
clip it.
So if you thought that just because they looked the same that they were the same, they're not. And so for leaders, what I try to emphasize now is, are you getting to know that new person, although they've been there for 20 years, they don't matter, 5 years, 15 years, are you getting to get reacquainted with that person that you're bringing back? Because there's so many deep issues that have occurred over the last 2 years that people's lives have been altered without the preview or purview of the company. They think it's just that name and that account number and that employee number, but it's not. So that's what happened through that process, that I became more aware of, hey, are these leaders really thinking about this now? Because these are different folks.
That's deep. That's
Yeah.
deep. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. That's my language right there. That's why we're here. Like that is really for me the important, right? Like just having this conversation with you and digging and just listening, and it's like, wow, that is so critical right now. That is so needed right now. You're that leader, Enrique. You're like the one that is really like, look, we need to pay attention to this. We need to be mindful of our employees, of our workforce, of people around us that are contributing to this common goal. And let's not forget. So I love it. That message, that work needs to be done, my friend.
Yeah, and I see Jenny. It's like, yeah, uh, uh, I also speak to the fact that we go around. There's this thing called "fake it till you make it," right? I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
proponent, although I know that I had in my life done it. I'm, but as I grew in knowledge, now I'm not a proponent for it, because I also am aware that while I was faking it till I made it, people were getting hurt. I was progressing, I was promoting, but I left a trail of hurt people because I was faking it till I made it. And you cannot do that. You can't. Jenny said that maybe she was acting that everything was okay, but no.
Yeah, let's read
Yeah,
that. Let's read that. Let's read the comment out
yeah.
loud just for people that can't see it. When I lost my dad, I spoke at an event 5 days later and acting like nothing happened. 2 months later, I broke down.
Yep. And I love the next comment that it says that, I'm the of the philosophy.
Mm,
Work hard until you're recognized, and that's exactly what you got to do. But in leadership, uh, what I tell people is be truthful until you make it. And when you're truthful, you seek help for the things you can't do. And so, and you don't act like you can do it. You seek help, and hey, be a leader and say, I don't have it all. I don't know it all, but I sure know that you know it. And if you're willing to partner with me on this project, I think we can make it. And we both can make it. So yeah, I love that. Work hard until you're actually recognized, and hopefully you're the type of leader that you will give the praise to the person that helped you,
right.
because that would be shameful.
Well, yeah. You gotta show up. You gotta work hard. You gotta be
Yep.
consistent. All that stuff we hear, it's true. It's true. Really, that's what's gonna get you and really establish um, your presence and your true credibility. So, ooh, gosh, what a good conversation. Thank you for sharing all this. And I love digging in and talking about all this stuff and really kind of getting to know you a little bit better and really what you're about, your business, those philosophies, those values that you really have that continue to keep going, right? Like all the stuff that life throws at you, you got to find a way to navigate, keep going. And it sounds to me like if you have those and you're very aware of that, then you're going to find the strength to keep going, right, with faith and all those things. So what keeps you going? How do you get through? What do you use? What tools do you have to really continue to get through these difficult times, right? And like you said, your mom passed away just a year ago. So as anniversaries, birthdays, holidays, all these the process continues, but so does life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You
And
got to
leader and
keep going.
leadership. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you know this. You have to keep going. Um, it's a conversation I have with my wife all the time. What if one of us is gone? You got to keep going. I tell her you got to keep going. You just can't stop. But I do know it'll be painful. So in this order, this is what keeps me going. God number one. God and God alone, and number one is number one, right?
Hmm.
Number two is my wife, my queen, right? The queen of this house. Uh, I could not have uh, asked for, and I didn't ask for. She asked for me. I didn't ask for
Aw. Let's
she
give her a
got me.
shout
Yeah,
out. Did you say
yeah.
her name in public? What's her name? I don't even know her name. I
Well, no, her
forgot.
name is Nancy. Her name
Nancy.
is
Oh, I
Nancy.
love that.
Yeah,
Okay. What's up,
yeah. She's Nancy.
Nancy? I hope
So
I meet her. I want to meet her.
yeah, definitely God chosen, right? God picked
Good.
her, and apparently he told her this is the dude you're gonna marry. I never got the message. So, but I finally did get the message, and look, and it's funny. That's a 30-year story. No joke. That's a
Listen,
30-year story, and
you got it.
so anyway, we're married now, and she's my queen. And I'm so happy. And my children. So I have raised children that are allowed to tell me if something's off track. I did not raise kids that had to obey my every command because I don't know it all. And so I raised them to recognize failure, even if it was in their dad, and say, "Hey, I don't think this is right," and because just as much as I'm here to protect them and guide them, they have the same onus as a family member to make sure that we're all protected, even from ourselves. So, they can speak, they can tell us, and we may get a
I like
little,
that. You got a
but
balance of power in there.
you
Balance
know,
of power.
well, appropriated power, right?
Right.
Appropriated power. If you're wrong, you're
Mm.
wrong. And anyone in this house should be able to say it. Because if you don't, then you are just a culprit of the wrong, right? And so, like I told you, leadership starts in the house first. If I'm going to go to some big old conference and say this, I better have said it here because I'll tell you, my my
Right.
wife was born and raised in the Bronx. She don't got no problem telling her brother two or three things, right? So
Aw,
it's best that we do it here first. But in any
that's
case,
so good.
that's
Yeah,
the order. That's the order,
love
and
it. Look at that.
um,
I'm
and
sorry. I want to apologize for LinkedIn user here. I don't know your name. I can't give you a shout out. So drop your name in the comment. That is right. That is the right in order, Enrique. That's what that says. And LinkedIn user also says be truthful until you make it. That's right. Awesome. You're dropping like some good like
that's
gold.
what it.
Like
Yeah,
I
that's what
love
it.
it.
When I was in the
Jenny.
military. Oh
Jenny,
yeah.
Jenny, thank you. I'm
Uh,
crying. Listen, why are you crying? Don't be crying. We're
and
here. We're familia. We're here to help each other. And who's surprised? I guess I shouldn't be, right?
yeah.
But it's all right, girl. Oh, Jacob.
Oh,
Okay.
Jacob, my brother, what's
Okay,
going
there we
on?
go. What's up, Jacob? Now we can address you properly. Thank you for popping through this conversation. I'm loving everything, just getting to know you more and more all the time. Just, your energy, your values. I really admire everything you stand for and what you're doing. And, I can't wait to see what keeps going, like the heart of, the 20-year-olds that we are inside.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's amazing. You just don't know. Uh, as you get older, you realize age is not a thing. It really isn't. It's only a block,
No.
that block.
Oh,
But
okay. I think I had this conversation with Alex too, because right,
mm,
Alex, me and her talk, and I was like, she's like, I feel like I'm in my 20s. I'm like, don't we all like? I never hear people say, oh, I feel like I'm in my 30s, or oh, I feel so like I'm in my 40s. Like, I feel like there's this maturity that we reach in our 20s where our brain says, okay, that's it. That's that age you're at that you're always gonna feel, and you're not gonna feel older than that. So I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'd love to, maybe have an interview with someone that's like, I feel like I'm a vibrant 40-year-old, like really 40.
but
Because,
I
I
tell you,
feel like I'm stuck in my 20s in this body.
I think I'm definitely in my 50. That's for sure. But you know, with time and knowledge comes ease. It comes
Yeah.
ease, and so when you get into a realm of ease, it's there. It seems like there is no. Actually, it's not even a problem, a care in the world. When you fall into a realm of ease, that inner peace that reflects outward tends to change your environment. And
But you got to
so,
work hard at it.
yeah, yeah.
You got to be
And I
intentional.
intentional. That's the key. That is the key. So I tell you, as far as age, as I used to joke around, I don't hardly ever say this anymore. Stupid has no age, right? There's no age. So I started thinking, well, if stupid don't got no age, why am I worried about age? I'm not stupid, right?
Oh,
So, and
no.
it's just one of those things. It's a mentality. It's a thing, and how you feel. I just saw this uh, almost 80-year-old woman doing push-ups and benching weight that I was like, I don't know if I could do that. So she proves also that, hey, that's just a number.
Yeah. Wow. It was all right. Well, we're going to start wrapping it up. We got a couple minutes left. I know I'm still tired from Podfest. I'm still recouping, still getting through all these cards that we get, all these like papers and
There goes
stuff.
Ross. Remember, we was like, hey, we gotta get a hold of Ross. There he goes.
Oh yeah.
There he
What's
goes.
up, Ross? Here we are. Yes, wish we had a chance. I know. Again, there's so many rooms, so many tracks, just so much energy and personality. It was just really hard to. And once you get focused on something, it's you got to like get on it because squirrel. I get it. So, Ross, thank you for hanging out. Thank you. My friend next time for sure, for sure, for sure. Um let's see. Oh, what was your biggest takeaway from Podfest?
Biggest takeaway that
Like something new you're going to
net.
implement.
Well, I tell you, this is what I took the most away out of Podfest. The network is immense. That community is huge, and for live streamers, for podcasters, for folks that like to do video blogging, all that. Oh my goodness. And and I took some time to thank Andrew personally. I saw him, I stopped him, and I talked to him. What Chris, Andrew, and that team have created is enormous, and I don't think they understand what they've done to the podcaster, right? Because they gave me an opportunity to bring in 5 listeners from my podcast, from Developing the Leader Within, um, and all 5 of them showed, and
Really?
they had to travel, and they
Wow.
came, and we took pictures, and we chopped it up, and these were listeners of the
Aw.
so for them to do that and open an avenue for that is huge. So I just wanted to make sure that I took the time to thank them for that, because uh what the biggest takeaway was: community, community, community.
Yes, absolutely. For me, that was. I wanted to go to meet people like you that I had already known virtually, but I was really excited to just kind of bond with person to person. And so, like, next year, it's going to be Ross, right? Because I've seen Ross and I didn't miss them this year, but next year, right? It's like those people that are like, I've seen your work. I've been
Yep.
following you. I've been watching you. I know you're out there and you're grinding. I just want to give you like some appreciation and like acknowledgement. And dang, you just never have enough time to take all the pictures. And
Yep.
have all the lunches and have all the conversations. So it's, I want to keep this conversation going and I wish it wouldn't end. But if not Podfest, then the next fest, then the next event. I'm sure something will be coming and something will be brewing. And yeah, oh, look at Alex. Good prompt as we close out the show. Okay, Enrique. Alex asks, how do we get in touch with you, Enrique?
Yes, well, I primarily reside on LinkedIn. Enrique Acosta Gonzalez, I am the only one. So as soon as you put that in there, you'll see my face. But yeah, there, or check out Developing the Leader Within podcast. That's the show you see in the background here. It's on all podcast platforms, but you can subscribe either YouTube or on the podcast platforms. But
Mm-hmm.
triadleadershipsolution.com is my company website. If you are looking for leadership development help, coaching, mentorship, training, all of that, you can go there and schedule some time with me. But thank you all for being with us tonight. I really appreciate it. And Ross, brother, we're gonna have to get together
I
next year.
know. Just give me one call, Ross. Just one on one, please. All right. We have to say thank you to everyone. Thank you, Mackenzie, for being the best mod ever, always hanging out with us. Enrique, you have been a great guest, and we had some troops like Alex popping in and supporting you, and a few others that came earlier. Jenny, hopefully you're not crying anymore. Dry your tears and smile. You've dropped some nuggets. Look, you got some people quoting you already. So, you got to love that. Be truthful until you make it. Don't fake it. Ah, C9. Oh, that was Jenny's comment. All
Hmm.
right. All right. Anything else? Any last final words, my friend, as we just close out and wrap it up?
Yeah, don't be afraid to go for it. Don't be afraid to go for it. Whatever that is for you, don't be afraid. Go
All
for it.
right. All right. I guess that's it. I had it on our Podfest background, but this show is Let Your Mayhem Be Known. I'm DJ, silverfoxtalks.com. And everyone have a good night. We're going to roll out the outro.